Good evening. How are we today? This is Reese here from the Inquisitive Cat channel. What is it? 10:36 a.m. Hello, hello, hello. I am going to start off and talk a little bit about some of my experiences when I was at work, some paranormal experiences. There were three that I can remember when I was working as a chef. One of them, I'm gonna probably start off the least scary one, then we'll go with the sort of creepy one. So the first one that I'm going to talk about was one of the aged care in Frankston that I worked at. I was working there and I was looking, something was directing me at the dry store area, and I saw a dark figure, a shadow figure at the corner, like poke its head out and then disappeared. And I said to the staff, did anyone pass away today? And they said, yeah, one of the residents passed away. And I said, they were just in the dry store and poking their head out. I said, I saw them. So that was one of them that I experienced that I had. The second one was, this is in Frankston as well. This is a rehabilitation place. So when I go to change or go on my break to go to the toilet or whatever, there's a L-shaped corridor. So when I come out of the kitchen, there's a L-shaped corridor. And if anyone's watching, and I'm not going to say the name of the place, but those who have worked there would know what I'm talking about. So every time I go at the end, right at the corner, my hair would go up. I'd get this really uneasy feeling, and then I'll turn right. And it would happen all the time. And I said to the staff, because I told them I do a little bit of paranormal stuff and that type of thing, they were a little bit interested. And I said, can I ask a question? What is it with that corner? Every time I go around that corner there, right at the end, my hairs go up and I get this really strange feeling. They said, that spot there. And I said, yeah, that used to be where they kept the morgue. That used to be a morgue. And I said, well, that's why I get that feeling that really my hairs go up. And it's like, there you go, I picked it up. So I realized I could start picking up stuff, and what I picked up was actually real. It wasn't just a figment of my imagination. So the third and last one, this is going to be an interesting one. This was when I was working in Melbourne. This was a small hospital, a break off from the large one. I won't say the name of it, but it's in the city, and it's a very old building there, a hospital there, and you sort of go downstairs, sort of a bit like a basement in a way, you could say. They've got a kitchen there, and I'll just say the name for privacy reasons. There's a chef there. I was doing agency work, and say his name's Jason. I said, hey, Jason, what do you want me to do today? The sandwiches or soup, what do you want me to do? He goes, you can do whatever you want. And I was like, okay, I'll do the soup. So I see the stick blender there. I'm just recalling that now. I turn around where the stick blender was and it's not there. And I said, Jason, with that stick blender, he goes, yeah. It's like, it's not there. But he said, well, if the kitchen hand or whatever's taken it, I'm going to kill him and blah, blah, blah. And then I turn around and I say, Jason, turn around. He turns around and the stick blender's there. And I said, that wasn't there. I remember now, that wasn't there before. And there all of a sudden it appeared. And I said, Jason, it's like the stick blender's there, turn around. And then I say, I'm not taking drugs, I'm not high. That wasn't there before, but there it is. I turned around and there it is. And then he tells me a story that some of the residents there, the patients in the hospital, they said they'll tell the chef when he would come to give the meals, because it's very small, about maybe 20 patients or something like that. So he'd go up there by himself and that, and the patients would go, I didn't realise you had nuns there. And he didn't want to say anything to him, but there were no nuns. There are no nuns in the building. 100 years ago, there were nuns, but there were no nuns. But they saw the ghost of nuns going around in the hospital. And he was telling me that story, and he told me another story that one day when he was there in the kitchen, he felt an overwhelming sensation, and it's like he just said, F off! Like everything sort of came all over him. He could feel this uncomfortable feeling and stuff like that. So he told me, he goes, yeah, there's some stuff going on. So he opened up after we had that experience where the stick blender wasn't there. I turned around, it was there. That's 100% real, that story. 100%. So 3 of the stories that I had working, yeah, freaky. The only, it's not really paranormal, but sometimes when I go to workplaces, I get very uncomfortable. And sometimes when I work, I feel like I've got one hand behind my back. It's like something's holding me back. I get this very uneasy feeling. Sometimes I have difficulty working. It's like I kind of pick up like bad energy and stuff, and it really makes it hard for me to work. Being sort of kind of a sensitive, you guys out there might understand that, get that feeling if you're sensitive and that you start picking up, and it really does affect your workplace. And that when I get a whole lot of people that just got negative energy, it bounces off, it just really disrupts your workflow and stuff like that. It's weird. It's hard to explain, but those who know will know what I'm talking about. But picking up stuff and that can be uncomfortable, and especially when you're in a workplace, you can pick up things of people, negative stuff. Yeah, so that's it for now. I'll leave it here. I'll be back again to tell some more stories, or Freddie K might come back and do a little bit of a live session. So I'll leave it here, and I'll see you guys soon. Take care, all the best, and ciao.